The 4449 would reply with a hearty whistle. What a wonderful meeting of historic and modern railroading. And that's what we're all about here. My name is Phil Sellinger, and I've been serving since April as the Oregon Rail Heritage Foundation's Executive Director. The Oregon Rail Heritage Foundation is a non-profit, all-volunteer organization dedicated to preserving and operating Portland's three magnificent locomotives and the supporting passenger cars in a setting fitting of Oregon and the Pacific Northwest rail heritage. This wonderful, highly functional space, a working museum, evokes the appearance of the former Brooklyn Roundhouse at a location that is both accessible to the community and soon to be surrounded on all sides by modern railroading. It is a great achievement made possible with the hard work of volunteers, committed public and private partners, and hundreds of donations from foundations and individuals over a period of 10 years. So it's great to see you all here today. Before we go any further, I first have a little piece of business, and that is if John McClure is in the audience, he needs to see the tall guy in the gift shop, something that he forgot and left there. Before I go any further, I want to thank our grand opening event primary sponsor, Fred Meyer, and our supporting sponsors, Lawrence Broom Construction, who built this great facility, the Union Pacific Railroad, celebrating 150 years of nation building, and KLK Consulting, who provided valuable services to our project. I also want to take this time to thank our project development team, including Shields Oblitz Johnson, led by Rick Gustafson, Hannaberry Eddy Architects, Lawrence Broom Construction, Railworks, and numerous subcontractors. A big welcome also to Operation Lifesaver and to the Benson High School Industrial Arts Program, with whom we hope to engage in developing some student projects and shared opportunities. Our lively music today is provided by Hoghead Mark and the Rusty Rails. Thank you, guys. And also be sure to check out the amazing Lego display inside. To get us started with our short presentation, I'd like to introduce the honorary chair of our project steering committee, former and longest serving city commissioner, a civic leader, Mike Lindbergh.
Thank you very much, Phil. Thank you very much. Well, you know, it all started 50 years ago with the first donation of these three steam locomotives. And at that point in time, hundreds of volunteers stepped up to do it really on their own to maintain these locomotives. There was a time a couple years ago, I asked the question, well, how much time have these volunteers spent? Somebody said, well, we don't know, maybe we'll go back and take a look. I said, there's thousands of hours? At that point in time, it was about 110,000 hours of volunteer time over about the last 35 to 40 years. Then just a few years ago, there came the time that these locomotives needed a new home. They were going to be homeless. This was no easy task. The magnitude of raising money, the complex different variety of land use things and different agencies that were involved, I thought this is going to be a miracle if we pull this off. Well, it was a miracle. Now, a miracle could be defined as divine intervention. It also is defined as a wonderful occurrence against all the statistical odds. And that's what happened here. It was the Portland spirit that did it. The Portland way, with the donors, the volunteers, the contractors, the architects, the political leadership. Now, before Bill Nato had died, he told me something one time, and he said, you know, Mike, do something grand with your life. And as I recall that, I realized that what really has been done in Portland is we've done dozens of grand things. And this project, really, I would say, it really kind of represents Grand Central, because what we have is a home for the steam locomotives that is at the center and in near proximity to OMSI, to the new Willamette bicycle pedestrian bridge, to the MAX line, to the streetcar, to the regular rail locomotive line, to all the bicycle trails. This is really going to be, I think, Grand Central of Portland. And with that, But none of these things can happen, frankly, even with all these different agencies and volunteers, unless you have someone in City Hall that's willing to step up, take the risk, and devote the time and energy to get this done. We had that person. We approached him a couple years ago, and he made this a very high priority. He's a commissioner who, when he was first elected, I thought in my mind as I listened to him speak, he could be one of the best and the brightest, one of the best that we've ever had. And then I saw him in action, in pulling together all the people that it would take to get this done, to convene them and lead them and make sure that the city and the city council was on board. And with that, I'd like to introduce my friend, a wonderful leader for this project, Commissioner Nick Fish.